But we are a family here, and your production matters. So I used to work third shift at a carpet warehouse in NW, Georgia. This area is known as the carpet capital of the world. I worked as a lift truck driver at a distribution center. Our main job was to receive rolls of carpet from the manufacturing side, cut them down to order lengths and ship them back out or put them back in the warehouse. The company had an expected production rate of 350 rolls counted over the course of a night. As long as you met production, there was no issue. If you worked at a consistent rate without overloading, and had no issues, you could make 400 to 425 rolls. Occasionally you did have issues actually finding the particular order in a warehouse with 1,000s of carpet rolls. The company system had a computer system that told you what roll to get next and where to take it. If you happened to not scan a roll within 15 minutes, it would send an alert to the supervisors, who would then get on a golf cart to go looking for you. On to the story. I was consistently pulling 400 plus rolls per night as I would take short breaks as I was never hungry and would get sleepy. After about a year of this, 10 minutes before break, I was having trouble finding a roll. As soon as break hit, I stopped looking and went to break. This would easily take about 10 minutes just to get there. Once break was done, I was back to looking for my roll. By this point, I was another 10 minutes to find it. This was added to the 10 minutes before break that I could find it. By the time I was pulling my roll off the bin, the manager had shown up in his golf cart. He just gave me a death stare and took off. By the time I took it to the central location, my boss was waiting there with a write-up in hand. He asked me to get off my lift truck and following him to the office. He told me that this was because I took more than 15 minutes to pull a roll and didn't skip it. This was a slap in the face as far as I was concerned. From that point on I never ever did more than a few more rolls than the required production rate. I would carry a clipboard and count my tally for the night. About a month or so of my not exceeding my production, I get called up to the office once night and this is how the conversation went. B equals boss. M equals me. M. Hey boss, what's up? B. Come on it. Take a seat. M. I'm fine standing. What's up? B. Come on in. Take a seat? M. Is something going on? I need to get back to getting my night's production. B. Well, don't worry about that. We won't count today against you. M. Okay. What up? B. Is everything okay? Are you doing all right at home? M. Me visually confused. I'm fine. What's is this about? B. I'm not just a boss. We are a family. And it's my responsibility as a boss to make sure that everyone is okay. The reason I called you up is B.C. You have had a sudden drop in production about a month ago and we were wondering if you had some family issues going on. M. Nope. My production is where the company expects it to be. B. I'm not saying that it's not. You were one of the few employees that could get 400 plus rolls a night. And now you are barely getting production. M. But it's 350. Right. B. Yes. You are meeting production. But you would do 400 plus rolls a night and as a team. Your additional rolls would help out your other team members who were struggling. M. Wait. You were using my roll count to go towards someone else? Why was I never given part of their paycheck? B. That's not how this goes. We are a team and we have a collective production rate that is a team requirement. M. Me giving an internal sigh. Face with raised eyebrow. B. We have some teammates who have slower equipment or have trouble with hand-eye coordination and your additional rolls would help them with their roll count go towards the collective department. Production rate. M. Okay. So what do you want me to do about it? As far as I'm concerned, the company requires 350. And that is what I am doing. Right? B. Can you tell me why is it that you dropped all of a sudden? M. Fine. Let me take a seat. I pulled out my wallet and started to pull out the signed write-up that he gave me a month ago. I slid it over to him. My plan was coming to fruition, as I somehow felt that this moment would come somehow. B. What's this? M. This is a write-up that you gave me a month ago. Do you remember? That night I had already met my 350 production requirement. I was stuck on a roll 10 minutes before break, and took another 10 to 12 minutes after break. That night I already had my 350 rolls. Do you remember? B. Surprised Pikachu face. M. After you wrote me up that night when I already had more than my expected production. Why would I ever want to give you more than I have to? Do you really not remember this? It's a good thing that I held on to this, huh? After about 10 minutes of silence. M. Will that be it? Can I go back to doing my work? B. Go ahead. They always point out the team right before they screw you. That's how they treat you, like family. People like this just boggle my mind. You were one of his all-stars. You were busting ass and making him look good. Those are the people who get special treatment because you can actually justify it if someone complains. Why would you ever write up someone who is willing to do more than he is actually required? When employers nitpick with their most productive staff and later wonders why their rates drop to minimum required. Although in cases like this it would be better to just get a raise in another company instead, as the current one does not value the job done. This happened to my best mate. He worked as a sales rep. There were 7 of them. He was expected to support the other 6 through his sales. He made so much commission the company wanted to cut his percentage to keep in line with the others. When they started taking his sales and adding them onto the other reps, he left. He made that company in 3 years go from 3 million in sales to 11 million. Talk about biting off the nose to spite the face. Whenever a business pulls the "we are a family" card, get your tall boots. The crap is getting deep. It's a dog whistle for, we want to treat you like crap and have you work extraordinarily hard. Voluntarily. Single quote. There are exclusions in many labor laws for family, and this is what they mean when they say family. We want to treat you like there are no legal repercussions. Monitoring productivity and asking people to work for their pay is one thing. Knowing that some people produce more and simply expecting more from them without just compensation is another thing entirely. Good for you, op. People have to stand up and say these things are wrong and unacceptable. Boss. We need to talk about your production. Op. Really? I've been pulling the 350 items of flair. Boss. Well, okay. 350 is the minimum, okay? Op. Okay. Boss. Now, you know it's up to you whether or not you want to just do the bare minimum. Or, well, like last month you, for example, had 450 pieces of production flair. Okay. And a terrific smile. Op. You know what, boss? If you want me to pull 450 pieces of production flair, like I did last month, why don't you just make the minimum 450 pieces of production flair? Good managers know their stars versus their just get done versus their cut them firsts. You scheme with the first group, correct the second group, and make sure the third group stays away from the first 2. Shoulda asked for a raise. Boss caught a dolphin in his mindless tuna net. treats the dolphin like tuna and wonders why he now has one more tuna. Ew. He had it coming. I hope it was a big wake-up for him about how not to treat good employees. So let me get this straight. If you had stopped working at your required 350 rolls and just goofed off or whatever, you wouldn't have gotten in trouble? But since you did more than you were required, you got in trouble when one item took longer than anticipated? In what universe would that incentivize anyone to do more than the bare minimum? We must do this and that. Until I get a share of profits, there's no we. You pay me to do what you tell me to do. That's all. I have a boss like this. When reviews came up, he would make up shit to nitpick and frame things like you couldn't be less productive if you tried. This year HR is required to be in reviews. Complete 180. He stuck to the script. It was funny for us. Should have ended it with asking what part of the family you are seeing as you're the one pulling the weight and getting in trouble for time spent doing extra work. I liked the "is everything all right at home?" card. I had that one pulled on me a couple of times when I worked armed security. They even sent me back to the shrink twice. Both times. The shrink's conclusion was, "This is a personnel problem. Why are they wasting my time?" Quote. Too many managers don't understand carrot versus stick and how to motivate employees. Same story every time. They lean on the stick until you leave and then wonder why. I always found it creepy when a company tried to pull the family shit on me. No. I am not a part of your fucking family. I'm an employee. No. I'm not going to sacrifice my only day off of the week when I'm already doing 12s every other day. Fuck your family. It's just straight up emotional manipulation. I love that he just sat there mulling this over for 10 minutes. That must have felt golden. Keep rollin', 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 rollin'. I hope you read this comment. As a residential carpet installer on the other side of the country and in Canada to boot, thanks for what you do. We get 90% of our carpet from Georgia and the rest from Ontario. Without guys like you, I literally don't have a job. I've only ever watched a video about the workings of a carpet manufacturing plant, but believe it or not, visiting one is on my bucket list. 350 rolls is insane to me. Those rolls are massive. We are a small shop, so we don't stock much more than 10 full rolls at a time. It's cool seeing a MC about my line of work, since resi carpet layers are a dying breed. Broadloom for life lol. Keep up the good work.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.